Welcome to the third episode of the Made for More Monday podcast. We shall be talking about looking at how you can go beyond limits, exploring your capacity. Whether you are just starting up in life or have done everything you have to do to make ends meet, this episode is for you. We are looking into how God expands our capacity beyond what we imagine. Many times, we set limits on ourselves because of fear or doubt or circumstances. But God calls us to live beyond those boundaries. Ephesians 3:20 confirms this submission. I read, "Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us." This explicitly means that God can enlarge our capacity to be more and to do more. Let's explore what it means to push past these limits by looking at some powerful examples from the Bible. The first story is about Jabez. We all know the story. Asking for expansion in 1 Chronicles 4:9-10. Jabez's name literally means pain, but he didn't let that define him. Instead, he boldly prayed, "Oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory." God granted his request, proving that our capacity grows when we ask in faith. Today, people sometimes feel trapped by their circumstances, whether financial, emotional, or cultural. But like Jabez, God invites us to ask him for more. The distinctive takeaway from Jabez's story is that our capacity is not limited by our names or our past or our background. God can and will expand our borders if we just ask in faith. The second story is about the widow who exhibited faith in small beginnings, as found in 2 Kings 4:1-7. In this story, a widow on the verge of losing everything approached Elisha the prophet, and he asked her, "What do you have in your house?" She replied, "Just a small jar of oil." Elisha told her to gather jars from her neighbors, and as she poured the oil, it kept flowing until all the jars were full. This widow's encounter with God's prophet shows how God can multiply the little we have when we act in faith. The takeaway here for me, and the message to anyone just starting up in life or any business: don't despise your small beginnings. God can and will expand even the tiniest resource when we trust him. The third and last story is about Peter stepping out in faith to walk on water in Matthew 14:22-33. Peter saw Jesus walking on the water and asked if he could come to him. Jesus said, "Come," and Peter stepped out of the boat. As long as Peter kept his eyes on Jesus, he did the impossible. He only started sinking when he looked at the waves. Many times, we limit our capacity because we focus on our obstacles rather than on God's power. The key takeaway from this story is this: your capacity to go beyond limits depends on where your focus lies. Keep your eyes on Jesus, not your fears. Looking at these three stories, the common thread is that God called ordinary people to do extraordinary things. Whether it is asking God to expand your ability to do more, or using what seems like not enough to get more, or stepping out in faith to be more. God shows us that our capacity is limitless when we rely on Him. As we close, ladies and gentlemen, remember Ephesians 3:20. God is able to do far more than we ask or imagine. So today, stop limiting yourself. Go beyond your limits and explore the capacity that God has placed within you. Thank you for tuning in again today. Keep pushing the boundaries, keep stepping out in faith, and watch how God will expand your life beyond limits. Until next time, remember, with God, there are no limits. Stay blessed.